And we're back.
Let's
It's
do
not
it.
like we just did a live stream and then cocked up the beginning of this and now we're doing it again.
This is our third attempt. So, viewer, come here right away. Quickly, thank you very much. When was the last time you said yes to something when you really didn't want to? We're going to answer that at the end, but I want to know your thoughts. Will, talk to me about people pleasing. We care so much about what other people think when in reality that is keeping ourselves prisoner. So, people pleasing, what is it at its core?
I think people pleasing is when you try and win the respect and admiration of others through saying things that would be going against what you would consider to be authentic to yourself.
So it's important when it comes to people pleasing, the differentiation is about sacrificing oneself.
Yeah, I think so. I think that makes sense.
So do you think people pleasing is inherently selfless? Could people pleasing be perceived as selfless?
No, I think it's selfish.
Tell me why.
You just want to win respect. It's for you. If you were doing it selflessly, selflessly is doing it for other people. Yeah, well, you're not doing it for other people. You're doing it for you.
Because you want to feel accepted.
You're trying to win their admiration. Like, if you were doing it for them, you would be authentically yourself, and they would either choose. It's then their decision whether they like you or not. Whereas with people pleasing, you're trying to win their respect and admiration without necessarily earning it, because you're faking it until you make it, basically.
Yeah. So you're sacrificing your true authentic self just to feel like you can fit in with a certain group people.
Yeah. It's like if you go to a wealthy tennis club, you try and fit in with everybody there by like saying, "Oh yes,
Yes, quite.
I work in the
Ralph Lauren.
corporate world, and I used to summer at the Lake District."
Oh, wonderful! I got the lake house. I
That's
tell you what, when I worked in Brixton, I was at this really like fancy gym. I would walk in every day, and before like the CrossFit class or just in the open sessions, people were like, "Oh yeah, it's quite." I holidayed in Bali, and then I went over to the Pyrenees for a beautiful hiking week. I'm like, shut the up! Like, why are you so pretentious?
It's it. That's how it goes. I can't wait till I've got a jet.
A jet? You're gonna buy a jet? I thought you said it was cheaper just to do semi-private.
Yeah, it's cheaper, but not as cool.
You're gonna build a runway in your garden.
Yeah, I think I'll get a helipad. If I get this house I've been looking at, I'll put a helipad on it.
Wow.
Because then I could helicopter directly from the hospital here to my garden, and then out of my garden back to Eastbourne.
That would be cool. Damn. So we're saying people pleasing, is it? I know we're already going. I love it. Is at the expense of yourself. So do you think it's different from just being kind and thoughtful? You know, because sometimes people pleasing maybe has good intentions.
Yeah, so I can think of an example of doing it where it has purely good intentions behind it. So for me, it's when I've got loads of YouTube work to do, no time. And the other thing, it's trying to persuade yourself that you have time when you don't as well. It's like, especially with YouTube, because everything feels like fun. It's like, no, I don't have any work to do, but actually there's a lot of things that need to be done by certain times. Like, I still need to do my live stream today.
Unbelievable. I feel like that's something you say every day, is I still need to do my live stream.
I know.
But it speaks to your sheer consistency and work ethic. That's a compliment, by the way. You're welcome.
Thanks. That means a lot.
Take it.
It's saying yes to tennis coaching
Yeah.
last minute, and it's something that I feel bad doing. Like, when I say no, I feel bad. I hate saying no to people. But obviously there's no bad that comes out of it other than on me. It's like, if I fall behind on my YouTube, that doesn't impact anybody else. That's on me, and it's only my fault for saying yes. But so that has positive effect. You know, I get to enlighten the younger generation with tennis skills, and I get to ease the workload on a fellow humman.
Got to help those hummins.
The humans.
The hummuses.
Yeah. Some hummins are hummin. Anyway, this is a weird podcast.
It is.
It's
We've come in with a very odd energy. It's because we were weird
I'm tired as well.
We're both tired today, yeah.
You
but
told me
also...
you didn't sleep very well.
I didn't. It doesn't happen very often.
No, I'm sorry. I'll spoon you tonight.
I'd rather you didn't.
Oh, okay, I won't. Fine.
My mum spoons me.
I thought so. I thought the bed was a bit crowded last night. Karen!
How do you know my mum's name?
I've asked on the podcast before.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, and you said Karen.
I'm so impressed you remembered. That was also a little bit creepy.
Easy to remember though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Mind you do expect that of a Karen to spoon her 30-year-old son. This podcast is weird.
It is. It's because we're on live chat before it, so the energy was just all over the place. We weren't centered.
No.
Let's take a deep breath.
Are we doing the one where you go like that? Is that what you taught us yesterday? No, I forgot.
Oh, okay.
So what do you remind us what you do? You do deep diaphragm breathing.
So you breathe in through your nose.
Jesus, I've got some podge on me these days.
No, you don't.
No, I do. Look, that all jiggles around like like when you walk into an Indian restaurant.
I feel like
it's
there
is really
skin,
podgy.
mate.
No, it's not. I mean, I do stretch, but it's not like.
You're like the action man. They just go.
Yeah,
he's pulling their arm.
There's that weird stretching of the guy with Guinness World Record. Have you seen like the picture? He pulls his skis like all the way out here. It's crazy.
That's so weird.
He's never gonna have wrinkles. It's so elastic his skin.
I suppose, yeah. Yeah.
This is a weird podcast.
It is, but we'll dial it back in. So, in terms of people pleasing, you hate saying no. We're talking about you specifically, not them. They don't matter. Talking about you. Why do you hate saying no? What is it about saying no that you find difficult? Or you don't like?
I don't like letting people down, ever. And when I say no to somebody, when realistically I could make time, but it will just impact my own stuff, it feels like a selfish move. Because I'd be saying no to helping you out just to better myself. Mm-hmm. Because I'm self-employed, so everything I do is to better myself. Mm. So saying yes to help somebody out means that I'm prioritizing your needs over mine.
So do you find a sense of achievement, a sense of satisfaction by helping the person, or is it purely you're doing it out of not out of spite, but just pure, well, I just need to do it. They've asked me.
It depends on the day. It depends on what I've got to do. So sometimes it will feel like I'm just saying yes because I don't want to let them down, and other times I'm saying yes because I want to actually go and do it, or the other times I'm saying yes just because I feel like I need to.
Yeah. Because you remember in Friends, they always had that episode that I always tried to remember, or not tried to actually think if there was, but a selfless good deed. Mm. Like a good deed where you just inherently don't want to do it, but you do it because you know.
Yeah, I think there is just because of that. Mm. Well, I mean, it depends how you justify it. So I would say, like me saying yes to tennis coaching if I didn't want to tennis coach that day or I had too much stuff to do, that's purely a selfless good deed.
Yeah.
However, you could look at it the other side. I'm only being selfless and doing it so that I'm still looked at in a positive way from the other coach.
Yeah. So
it's like, but if that wasn't my genuine intention, then is it a selfless good deed? Well, maybe.
Because it's still a positive outcome that comes as a byproduct for you.
I think if you have to sacrifice something for somebody else, that is a selfless good deed. If you aren't sacrificing anything and you're doing it just to gain something, then that is selfish.
Yeah. So when it comes to people pleasing, it's beyond just being kind and generous. It's compulsively seeking approval and avoiding conflict. So almost two different chains of the avoiding conflict and seeking approval. I'm a very visual person in my mind. It's like mind map. They're over here. They're separate, but they're the same. They come together, but they branch out. Anyway. So
this podcast is weird.
It is. I like it. I'm here for it. Just getting the llama.
More of an alpaca guy myself.
Get it then, alpaca.
We can just alpaca ourselves in.
Wow.
Just sipping my water.
Sip. Yeah, so people pleasing is different from being kind and thoughtful. So it's seeking approval. Have you ever been in a time in your life where you have sought approval out actively?
Yeah, I think that's why I don't now. It's interesting because my job is to literally impress people.
Talk us through that change then. If you did used to seek out approval and now you're at a stage of your life where you don't feel like that plays a part in your life, what's changed between point A and point B, and ultimately
I think
how can you help other people that maybe are living a life seeking approval?
Yeah, so when I was younger it was like a need to fit in. So I was top dog when I was in primary school. There were only 30 kids in my year, but I was like, yeah, like I get on with everyone, like I'm friends with everyone, get on, everything's fine. Then secondary school came about and suddenly nobody knew who I was because I was one of 200 in the year and 1,000 people in the school. I didn't have the same group of friends, right? I was like starting again, which was interesting to navigate. So then you start thinking, okay, well, I'm going to work my way into other people's friendship groups because everyone like who came from the big school that's in our town, you know, the one that begins with O, and ends with Clinge.
Clinge. Amazing.
Yeah, didn't think about that.
I'm not ever going to unhear that now. Oh, Clinge. I lived on a street called Oakland.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I lived there for years. It was great. What primary school did you go to?
St John's.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
I loved it there.
And then you went Clinge.
And no, I didn't.
Oh, sorry.
Everyone came from.
Yeah. So where?
Then I went to Cavendish, same as you.
Ah, we did go to Cavendish.
You left the year that I
joined. Yeah.
Which was really sad.
Primary did you go to? Ratton?
No.
Secondary, sorry.
Cavendish.
The one in between.
There wasn't. St John's went from reception to year 6.
Oh, okay, thank you. I was trying to wonder.
There were only 200 kids in the whole school.
Wow.
So going to Cavendish was a big shock.
Yeah.
200 kids in a year versus 200 kids in a school. But so I felt like I had to work my way into friendship groups that were existing from previous schools and whatever. It was also my first time moving, really, that I could remember, because you don't remember. Like, when you go from nursery to reception, it's like, that's exciting. You get to go to big school, and you've got no reason to, why would I find that scary? You know, you don't care about anything. But everyone who went from, like, a primary school to a junior school had already been through a transition in probably more memorable parts of their lives. Mm-hmm. But for me, I was 11, and I was going, this is the first big move I'd ever had. Yeah, I tried to find my way, and like there were kids that did magic, so I took up magic, and that's why I learnt magic over 3 years. So I was cards all the time, and I thought, oh, that's cool, you know. That's. Then it was yo-yoing. Took up yo-yoing for a bit.
I feel like there was a stage where yo-yoing became super cool, wasn't it? It was like walk the dog or like the swing one, cradle. Everyone suddenly, I think it's because what they did is, I remember when I was at school, they got in like these cool young people, not young, probably like 20. To just do yo-yoing, and everyone was like, that's rad, man. And it just blew up. I remember that phase. It was interesting. Carry on.
But I walked around school with the yo-yo for a little bit, but the teachers didn't like that as much as the deck of cards.
Why?
Because I'd be walking around the hallways just swinging a massive yo-yo.
Fair enough, yeah, I could see why.
And the deck of cards was all like there. But I actually did both for a little bit, because I could do yo-yoing like playtime, whatever, and like through the halls, as and when I didn't get caught. And then when I'm in my lessons, I could just play with deck of cards, play with my deck under the table,
play with your deck with your dexterous hands.
Yes. And then I took up street dance for a little bit, because I was trying to like be cool, you know. I saw Step Up 4 or something, and
for me it was Step Up 2.
Was it? Yeah, I think it was 4 for me, because you know Ant by Edit, or Edit by Ant, you know, that song. Yeah, that one. Yeah. That was like, yeah, that's sick, cool. So I'm gonna learn that. And then in all my lessons, I was like,
popping.
Yes, yeah.
Just learning how to control the body.
So that was what I did. And again, that was just trying to fit into a group. And I was like, I'm gonna watch all of the street dance channels, like videos, just because then when I come back next week, I'm gonna be the best dancer here. Because obviously you can learn all of street dance in a few hours on YouTube.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can learn anything in a few hours on YouTube.
Yeah, there's a Alex Hormozy thing though. It's like you only need to do something for 20 hours and you'll be above average at it.
Really?
Yeah, because you just like the learning curve on a new skill in the first 20 hours is insane.
I suppose, yeah.
So if you just spend literally every 3 days, you can learn something to an above average level. Which is why when people are like, oh, I can't run a business, I don't know what I'm doing. It's like, just like, it's a stupid thing to say. Like 3 days and you can know more than you need to. It's like, you don't get rewarded for how much you know. You get rewarded for results. I don't know anything in the outside world, really. I know a lot about a very few things. And that's it. That's all you need to do. And no, it's the other way around as well. I know above average amounts on everything because I learnt this early. I learnt it young. And I was like, okay, well, I'll just do 20 hours of yo-yo. I'll do 20 hours of magic. And most of the time you end up doing more. Because after you've done 20 hours, you're like, oh, I'm quite good at it. So you get the positive reinforcement to do more. Like guitar, drums, mixing, mastering, singing, like podcasting we've now done probably over 20 hours. In fact, we've done over
20 hours, yeah.
So we're learning more about it. And live streaming is the same thing. And dance is another one, and flips is another one, and tennis is another. Like, there's so many different areas where I can be above average in easily just because of how many hours I've done. It's great.
I like that. So for you, maybe people pleasing played a role in your adolescence.
It was just to try and find a way into a group. And you are sorry to.
No, I'm saying seeking approval. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then going into adulthood, I realised that I didn't, and after college as well, and doing a similar thing in college, it was like, actually, I don't want to impress any of these people. Like, why do I want these people in my life? They're not interested in things that I'm interested in. Like, why do I want to go out drinking at lunchtime? It's like, no thanks.
People do that now. People do that when I go to the office. They're like, liquid lunch? I'm like, no.
Yeah, I think that's mad that happens at work. It's like at college, I can sort of understand because everyone's just turned 18. It's like drinking's the new fun thing that you can do. Like, you get to drive back to college drunk. Like, fair enough. But it was never an interest of mine. So that was, okay, well, I don't need to impress anyone anymore. I'm just focusing on my goals. And that's where I was like really hard on that. I'm never going to have a girlfriend that I'm going to marry. I'm always just going to have like, they can come and go as they please. And but I want to find the one for me. But I'm not going to marry them ever because I can't have that sort of liability in my life. You know, it's like all dumb stuff that I was just young and confused, I think.
Yeah, but this is what life is, isn't it? Is we think we know everything when we're younger, and as we get older, we realise we know absolutely nothing. And in reality, the people that think they know everything probably know the least, and the people that always understand there's more to learn are probably the most humble and most engaged people you want to spend time with because they're happy to learn.
Well, you've got to imagine, if you're talking to somebody, they've learnt the skill of talking, which means they've been alive for some hours on this earth. They might know something in their hours on earth that they've experienced that you don't know. There's a chance, isn't there?
I agree.
There's a chance.
When I was travelling, one of my first trips, I learned, and actually have almost adopted this mindset. Maybe you've noticed it in social interactions, maybe you haven't, I don't know. But I learned from this guy when I was travelling, he was Dutch, and he said, if you talk, you're only reaffirming what you already know. If you listen, you might learn something new. And I was like, that's awesome, because you're true. Like, when you're speaking, all you're doing is just reconfirming what you already know. You're just repeating what you've already ingrained in your brain. But if I stop, listen, and absorb what you are actually saying, I might learn something. And again, another interesting fact, I don't know if it's fact, I haven't got the numbers, but on average, people respond before their brain has even had time to comprehend what the words actually are. So people are not waiting to respond and actually comment, they're just waiting for their time to talk next, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Just wait for your turn to talk
blurt it
next.
back out.
Words,
mouth sounds.
That's my favourite thing, mouth sounds.
Quote of the day.
Quote of the day. So I think for me, when I think about the two we spoke about, seeking approval or avoiding conflict, I think you're right. Seeking approval probably plays a part when people are younger because everyone's trying to find who they are and understand where they fit in. And I think you probably realised at a very young age, I think I still struggle with it, but understanding who you are and why would I want to be friends with these people that don't have the same interest, I love that. I wish I understood that sooner. Again, I think I still struggle with it. But I think as an adult, for me, people-pleasing has played more of a role in terms of avoiding conflict. So I grew up in somewhat of a volatile household where conflict meant inherently unsafe. So for me, if I keep everyone happy, everything's wonderful.
Hunky-dory.
Hunky-dory, exactly. Whereas in reality, that's short-term gain, long-term pain. Because you're not having these discussions that's actually going to make the situation better. It is just sort of glossing over it.
But it's self-preservation first, isn't it?
Absolutely, it is self-preservation, yeah, which is plays a huge part in terms of people-pleasing because it is self-preservation. But for me, avoiding conflict was where it came in. I'm not proud of it, but...
No, but I don't think it's anything to be ashamed of. Because you say if you were in a turbulent environment, it's like you're going to want to protect yourself from physical harm first, and then as time elapses, people generally don't feel as strongly about whatever it was that happened before. Therefore, it's safer to broach the topic and say, this hurt me in this way because of this, and I've had time to process why that is. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that now, and sort of, can I try and understand your perspective on that situation? And it's just a lot more like third eye view than it is in the moment, you know?
Agreed, but in reality, in that moment of when you don't share your experience, you're almost abandoning yourself, and you're teaching yourself that it's okay to abandon yourself when times are hard.
Yeah.
Just to choose the path of least resistance. You just abandon how you think, feel, and just gloss over it and hope everything's okay. So I'm curious, what do you think there is? Do you think there's a cost of abandoning yourself when it comes to people pleasing? So what would be the cost of abandoning yourself?
Self-respect.
As in you would lose self-respect.
Lose self-respect. Because you're like, okay, well, I'm just being pushed around. It's like life's happening to me, I'm not happening to life. And it's one of the big things I've taken since I became a man.
I can tell.
Man.
Your voice got hella low and you grew a beard and suddenly you're a man.
Very proud of my beard. It's getting to the length where I'm happy with it, which means that Soph will make me shave it almost immediately.
Yes.
But I decided that, I think I heard Dave Ramsey say, like, you either, life happens to you or you happen to life. It's like, I want to happen to life. I want to have an impact. I want the world to bend to my will. I don't want to bend to the world's will, you know? Not in a bigger, like...
Not in a power dynamic of I am more than everyone needs to... Not in a...
Yeah, everyone needs to yield
authoritarian dictatorship.
No, although that sounds fun. That's what a limited company is. You're just a dictator of your own little world.
Yeah, but I was more thinking on a grand scale of mass genocide.
No, I'd probably try a few different disciplinary actions before genocide in my company.
Yeah. Only a few.
Only if you... Well, the thing is, if...
What I would do is I'd have a wheel of discipline. So it's like, I'm going to spin it. One of them is going to be genocide.
This is the Beneath the Noise Limiters plan.
If it falls on genocide, that's on you. Ah, no, you just got to clean the toilets.
If you've got 2 bad eggs in marketing, you must genocidally wipe the full marketing department.
Absolutely, yeah. Because they're just going to seep into the rest of the marketing team.
That's it. No, I don't know how we quite got onto genocide, but people pleasing, don't kill people en masse. Only do it on individual basis.
Exactly. And it can't be traced back to you.
Yeah. I'd just like to say, this is not advice.
Please consult with your doctor first.
This is all jokes. Obviously, we're not promoting any sort of killing or genocide.
No.
It's got to be said.
Our jokes are very funny.
To us, nobody else.
Yeah,
we accept that. We're laughing, therefore you should be laughing.
Yes.
That's what I'd say to the people before I kill them.
Laugh. Ha 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 ha.
Laugh.
Yeah, I would agree. So the cost of abandoning yourself is self-respect. And then ultimately it's going to be self-trust as well. So if you can't trust yourself, how are you going to believe in any decision you want to make? How are you going to commit to any hard decision? Because in reality, if you don't have the faith in yourself that you can make or do hard things, when it comes to trying to make a big decision, you're not going to believe in yourself. You're just going to abandon how you feel, and you're going to take too much advice from other people. Yeah. So because you're going to want to listen to their advice more so. Like, well, Will said I should do this, and I think that kind of makes sense because, you know, why not? It's kind of a good idea, and I think that too.
By the way, none of my ideas are kind of a good idea. They are a good idea.
They either are or they're not. And you never quite know until you do them.
It's true. So quit your job, make £1,000 in the first month. And if you can't do that,
rob a bank.
No, they just suck.
Oh,
Don't turn to crime ever. It was a live on the Beneath the Noise. Well, the first one I did, yesterday's one. I was talking to somebody trying to help them in their career. They were saying something or other. I was like, well, just say something and we'll try and build a business around it. I was helping them through it. And somebody came on, any business isn't as good as if you just sold drugs.
Oh, I think I saw that comment. Yeah.
I was like, I hope they're joking, but obviously, yeah, don't get involved in crime. Like, you don't need to. You can make ungodly amounts of money doing YouTube, and your overheads are lower. It's like
less fear.
Well, less fear. You can't ever have your business stopped because you're put in prison. Like, you don't put your family at risk and have assets seized. Like, it's just obviously don't turn to crime. It's like,
and also don't sell paracetamol or Tylenol because it gives babies ADHD. Donald Trump said it, so it must be true.
yeah, he also said we should drink bleach to get rid of coronavirus.
That dude's he's a whack, isn't he?
He's spent too much time on a tanning bed or in a spray booth.
China.
So
also when people
have fun words to say.
So when it's people pleasing as well, we touched on it, but choosing the path of less resistance can sometimes start from like childhood conditioning. So if they grew up in an environment where they didn't feel safe, or they needed approval, or love was conditional, people pleasing would then become the default. Because it would keep them safe in that home environment where they're meant to feel loved and nurtured regardless of the situation. And I think that's a real interesting dynamic of how someone that needs to live in a place where they need to feel love conditionally, how they grow up and navigate through other romantic partners. Because then it displays as a complete abandonment of self. They might then start adopting all of their traits, all of their passions, and suddenly they start morphing into that person because they don't have that rigidity to go, no, I actually don't like that. That kind of sucks.
It's more attractive to potential partners as well if you are unwaveringly yourself. I was like, I never apologise to Sophie about how much I work. Unless I think she's going to shout at me, in which case I apologise. But I'm just myself. Like, I do YouTube unapologetically, just be me. And you've got to fit into my world. If you don't fit in with my world, I'm sorry.
You have to be unapologetically yourself when it comes to dating. Because in reality...
That's who they're dating.
That's who they're dating, isn't it? Yeah, and if you want to abandon who you are to try and adapt to them, then in reality, you're not going to be happy because you're sacrificing who you are.
Well, and the thing is, you can't hide forever.
No.
6 months into that relationship, they're going to know who you are.
The cracks are going to start to show, yeah.
When you start to move in, and then they're going to realise, hang on a second, you dye your hair every morning. Or,
you have a mustache?
Yeah.
Works both ways.
I want to know how you'd hide that. Every time. Why'd you always have your hand over your fist? No reason.
No reason.
I lost my razor for 6 months. This podcast is weird.
It is, I love it. Don't grow a mustache. I knew someone that had a mustache tattooed here. So
yeah, I think it's quite common, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Not a lot of people have the word dope tattooed.
I don't have the word dope tattooed.
Dude, yeah, that's it. Not dope.
You should get the word dope tattooed.
No.
Do you know what the odds of the game?
What, were we just say a number?
Yeah, so I'd say what the odds. You'd say 1 in, and then it would count down 3, 2, 1. If it's the same number, you got to get it.
Yeah, I'm worried about getting a tattoo.
Okay.
Because, as you know, I am an all or nothing person.
So once you get one...
Once I get one, it's like, well, I'm already this deep in. Like, therefore, I must get all the others that I've wanted. And then the thing, I'll eventually have a body that I'm not happy with. Whereas I'm actually quite happy without tattoos. I like being able to have the clean look. And the thing is, the only tattoo I would want is the sunset there. Music symbol behind that ear, music symbol behind that ear, and then maybe a treble clef on this arm. But I keep this arm clean. But the thing is, then I've lost the clean look. Like, even if I wear sleeves, it's like my natural thing is to have sleeves rolled up. So I've lost it. So it's really difficult. I don't like chest tattoos. I don't like upper arm tattoos at all. Those ones are probably the safest ones for me, which is really strange because most people are like, oh, I could never tattoo my neck.
Yeah, but they're the ones you're not going to see, really, are they?
Yeah. I just love that look. I also love, like, letters up there as well.
Yeah.
That's quite a cool look.
I've thought about that as well, but I think some douchey guys get it, and I think I've been scared away from it.
Like, you know Chris Herrier?
No.
The calisthenics guy on YouTube, Thenex?
Oh, yeah.
He's got a big neck tattoo
I've
there.
I've seen that, yeah, really
I
cool.
love the way that looks, but sod having that when I'm 60.
Yeah, agreed. And also the pain, it's a very certain type of aesthetic, and he pulls it off. He looks great with it, but...
For now, but I'd like to see him when he's 60.
I reckon he'll still pull it off.
Yeah, maybe. Well, you can't pull it off. But the thing is, you can get tattoos removed now, can't you, Connor?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I'm getting this one removed, yeah.
That's taken ages to go. That's a long process.
Well, no, it's also I haven't had that many sessions. I've spaced it out a lot
Is because it hurts?
No, it's just because it's demand on the body for the first week of the healing. So I have to take time off, like the gym and stuff, and you have to keep icing it consistently. Like if you want it to go well, you have to be really on it with your aftercare.
Right.
And it's like, do I have a week where I can be really on it with aftercare? Like, I wouldn't do it and then go to the office because I'd be sitting there and be like, oh, it's painful. I'd need to be icing it every 30 minutes.
Right.
So that
the
way
ice is because of the pain, is it?
No, so it doesn't scar. So bring the swelling down, let the body heal.
Fair dues.
Yeah.
And is it easier to get rid of black than it is, or green than it is to get rid of colour?
Yes.
See, I would get like bright colours on mine.
Colour is hard to get rid of. I think the hardest is greens and reds, I think.
You've got green.
No, that's
black, is
black, yeah, it's just going green.
Ah, fair enough.
Because sometimes they can use other colours within black to thicken it out.
The strongest, probably.
Exactly.
That's why it's hard to get. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so in terms of people pleasing, get tattoos.
Or don't. Because the point is you don't people please.
Yeah, this is it. You authentically live your own life.
I think it's important to mention, though, there are times in your life where it is important to people please. For example, in a job interview. You want to... If you've applied for the job, it's probably because you want the job.
Yep.
Therefore, you should, I think, bend your moral compass, your intellectual thoughts, everything you say should be tailored with the one objective of getting that job. Because that's what you're there for. You're not there to make a friend. You're there to get a job. Later on, as you were in that company, then you can start to bring your own morals and your own things into it and people please less. But at the end of the day, if you work for somebody, you're always going to have to bow to their will.
Yeah, there's an element of that. But I also think there's an element of authenticity is going to always shine through when it comes to a job interview. Naturally, you've got to make sure that your ethos and your values align somewhat. You know, like it's like when people ask me, oh, like, what job do you do? I'm like, I work in travel, I work in sales. And then someone goes, oh, I'd love to do that. Oh, cool, where have you travelled? I've been to Mexico and Cancun. Like, oh, did you leave the resort? No. Like, well, you're clearly not going to get this job then, because you're not going to be able to talk about Uzbekistan, are you? Like, you can't even point it on a map.
Uzbekistan?
I haven't, but I know how to talk about travel to these weird places.
Because you've been, yeah.
Because I've been to
weird places.
Exactly. But yeah, like people that have just been to the, like, Greece or Benidorm, you know? So there's an element of being authentic, but also there's an element of, yeah. So I think there's a middle road when it comes to people pleasing there. But it's give or take, isn't it? Because you can't be 100% people pleasing, but you can't be 100% authentic all of the time.
Yeah, well, I think your most authentic self is acting as you would if there was no punishment.
Yeah.
And that is from the law or from like personal consequences or anything. So if you were sacrificing your authentic self, then you're doing things because you're afraid of what the response would be or the consequences would be.
Very true.
That's the only reason you do it as well.
That's really interesting.
So if, like, I'm not murdering you right now.
Thank you.
Because authentically to myself, I don't want to murder you. If I did want to murder you, this podcast wouldn't even happen because I wouldn't put myself in the position where I would have to actively stop myself.
It's a weird analogy, but I like it.
But I like to use extremes because they're more entertaining, but they also make a bigger point.
Yeah, no, exactly.
It's easier to understand as well. It's like, I'm not picking one of those guitars up off the wall and throwing it at the wall. Like, as fun as that would be, I'm not willing to live with the consequences of dealing with cleaning that wall and unmaking the hole and then having a broken guitar. I don't want to have to deal with that. Like, that's me actively not doing something I want to do because I'm afraid of the consequences.
But then are you not living authentically?
No, I don't think anyone can live truly authentically. Not with laws in place.
Well, we'll have to have a...
Because we'd speed. Everyone would speed everywhere, most of the time, more than they do now.
We'll have to have an episode on authenticity then, won't we?
I think it's important. If only we had a live stream where we planned it. I didn't actually contribute anything in that live stream.
I barely did anything.
The viewers did, though.
They did, yeah. Well, we got that question for this one, so we're going to get to that. Thank you, Aisha. But there is one thing I do want to bring it back to, because you did kind of speak about it, is you said you've got to have some sort of rigidity in your sense of self. I can't exactly remember what you said, but I think there's an element there of cultural and societal norms. So, for instance, in some settings, especially for men, being assertive is rewarded, but for others, being agreeable is praised. So I think there's definitely an element of maybe cultural environments, especially maybe more so in the past than in this very much inclusive world, which I'm all here for. Absolutely. I'm very left-leaning politically, so you know me, I'm a lot more understanding.
Side note, are you for equality of opportunity or equality of outcome?
Can you explain the difference just so I make sure I understand?
Equality of opportunity is making sure anybody, no matter of race or sex or gender or whatever, has the opportunity to do whatever they want to do.
Yep.
Equality of outcome is 50% of CEOs are men and 50% are women.
Oh, okay. Opportunity.
Correct.
Yeah. Because
really left is we want equality of outcome. Liberal area is equality of opportunity. Super far right is it's just the best people for the job. Doesn't matter. I don't care if essentially that is giving everyone the opportunity to be fair, because you only want why wouldn't you? If you're a true capitalist, you only want to hire the best talent, and you don't care who that is. The problem is when you get left leaning influences and it's saying, well, you've only hired white men. It's like, well, I can't help the fact they were genuinely the best people, but proving when you have black applicants, women applicants, and white male applicants, which, if the white male ones genuinely impress higher in the interviews, have better experience and higher qualifications, it's like, you're going to hire them. You just are. But proving that to the world becomes an absolute minefield in terms of ethics and morality. Sorry, that was just...
No, I like it. I like the sidebar. So, do you think in terms of people pleasing, men have it arguably, I'm going to say, a little bit easier? Because men, traditional male values are to be assertive, be the decision maker, be somewhat of an authoritarian. Do you think people pleasing comes a little bit easier to men?
No. I think it comes harder to men, easier to women.
So harder because men have been told to embrace more traditional.
I think so. So it completely depends. In my mind, I see agreeable as employed and disagreeable as self-employed. So I would lean more on disagreeable.
Okay.
Because for me, if you're agreeable, you're a little bitch.
Wow. Okay.
If you're disagreeable, you're not afraid to stand up for what you think is right. And the ultimate of that is I'm running my business my way, and I have enough arrogance to say this is how it's going to go, and I'm either going to die with the ship or it's going to work. And being employed, which I've done plenty of, I've got the feeling people are going to think, oh, well, he's just never been employed because he's so young and he's self-employed now. It's like, no, come on. I've taught tennis. I've done flips coaching. I've been an estate agent. I've been a tennis coach again. I've been an accountant. I've been a musician in pubs, which was sort of self-employed to be fair. But
you worked at Sainsbury's?
Worked at Sainsbury's. I forget about that one. That was like proper bottom of the barrel employed working at Sainsbury's.
That was literally like...
We were literally scraping boxes.
We only really... cleaning and scraping boxes and loading totes. But we only did that because we were bored in lockdown. And we saw an opportunity to make money.
Yeah,
we saw an opportunity to make money.
It's all right for you. You had furlough. I didn't even have furlough. I was like, no, I worked 7 days a week there.
Yeah, you did.
That's where I learned I could work hard.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's like I'm just here 7 days a week, and I didn't even know what my contracted hours were.
They didn't give contract hours. Like if you wanted to work, you could work.
Yeah, I just rocked up.
That's literally what it was. Yeah.
But we were told, in our schedules or something, I never even logged in. I was like, I'm just going to work 7 days a week if you're going to let me. So I did. I had 1 day off. I think one of the days I took off on one of my contracted days, and they were like, where were you on this day? I was like, I just worked literally 40 something days in a row. Are you mad? And they're like, yes, but this is your contracted day. The others are optional. It's like, well, nobody's told me this.
It was all very lax because it was over COVID, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it. And they just had unlimited budget because online was just making so much.
It was, yeah.
So it was great. But with the agreeable versus disagreeable, I think... So there's been studies on this, and Jordan Peterson has covered it. I know you have a bit of a turbulent relationship with Jordan Peterson.
Turbulent's a good word, yes.
Because he makes good points, but he's so intellectual as well. Like he's obviously going to win every argument he has.
Absolutely, yeah. It's some of the points he's made, I'm like, you know what, you're absolutely right. Some points I'm like, I'm not sure.
It's just making the point when it doesn't need to be made sometimes.
Yeah.
With him.
But I also think he's anyone that's able to support young men, I am all for it in a positive light.
Yeah. Not in a malicious way.
Exactly, yeah. And again, same for young women. If there's a role model for young women that is somewhat controversial, but is inspiring them to be stronger, more powerful, assertive versions of themselves without the expense of other people, then I'm all for it.
Yeah, that's it. But disagreeable people are more likely to be successful in the top CEOs.
Yes.
And agreeable people are more likely to be the little submissive bitches.
I would agree with that.
Because they just, like, if you basically, to me, being disagreeable isn't, I'm just going to disagree with whatever you say. It's being able to push back on somebody's opinions with some of your own.
Do you think that is you are one or the other? Do you think it's a sliding scale? Because I would say scale. I am somewhat an agreeable person.
Me too.
But when it comes to work or opinions or something, especially this has changed through my journey in therapy, absolutely. But I think I'm pretty good at putting my foot down now. So I'm like, actually, I disagree with this point. You don't have to accept my opinion, but I disagree.
Yeah, I think that's how it goes. I think everyone starts off... Well, it's how it went for me. It was like I started off more agreeable, realised that I was just getting pushed around, so I started to lean more the other way and become more disagreeable. And then you occasionally fall out with people because you've been too disagreeable.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, I'll maybe dial it back in certain situations.
But isn't that what they say with like a lot of things? When you're young, you're idealistic. So you're like politically wise, you're extremely left leaning. Well, everyone should have the same rights and be completely like at one with the earth, and everyone should.
I was never like that.
No, you weren't. But then as people get older and they start getting worn down by life, they're like, no, I want to protect what I have. I want to put the St. George's flag on a roundabout.
But here's the thing. So also, did you see the protest down the beach today?
No.
It was in support of illegal immigration, and it was but their slogan they were shouting was something to do with people being racist if they want to stop illegal immigration. Bat poo crazy. Like, how are you racist if you want to stop illegal immigration? You're not have anything against the race of the person that's coming over. It's the fact of how you're doing it.
It's illegal immigration. Yeah.
Legal immigration, I'm absolutely fine with. Illegal immigration, not so okay with. For the very fact that if you're fleeing a country of war as a refugee, you've still had to come through most of Europe to get here. What's wrong with France? What's wrong with Spain? The weather's better. Like, how many people in the UK that are born in the UK are actually trying to move elsewhere, you know?
Yeah.
I know people that come in here for the free healthcare and whatever, but there's still insurance in other countries. And the EU has pretty good refugee acceptance policies. So it's not racist if you don't support illegal immigration. That's just not supporting crime. If you support illegal immigration, you are literally supporting breaking the law.
I think it's a lot more nuanced now, because you and I can have a rational discussion about this where we'll disagree on some points and agree on others, but then there's the uneducated on both sides. Again, I'm more left-leaning. You're probably a little bit more right-leaning than myself. Maybe right-leaning in general, but I'm not sure. But there's uneducated on both sides that are just spouting uneducated BS, something they've read online, or if Karen's posted on Facebook and they're taking it as gospel, and then suddenly that's everything they've ever known. And we get the algorithms fed to us of what you want to see and what reaffirmed. And I've seen so many videos of people interviewing Reform UK people that they try and argue that against them, and the person knows absolutely nothing. And I'm sure there's the same for the left leaning, but I'm also sure there's people in Reform UK that are probably very well educated and have good standpoints. So it's a really tough thing for people to try and understand, unfortunately. But I think we should just adopt the Ricky Gervais method, which is just remove the safety warnings off bleach for a year and then hold a referendum.
Yeah. It's great. Yeah. He's brilliant. I love him. A lot of problems in the world, and this is why capitalism overall has won, is because it's problems fixed by logic. It's not problems fixed with emotion. A lot of left-leaning things are really nice because they're all about being inclusive and let's wrap everyone in bubble wrap. That's extreme. Let's keep it more realistic.
But understand the point you're making.
Yeah. But do you remember before we've spoken about you can't solve emotional problems with emotions? It just puts more fuel on the fire. It's what you're trying to do with capitalism, I believe, is fix emotional problems with logic, which is sometimes what has to happen. And it doesn't feel, this is the thing as well, it doesn't feel nice.
No.
But it's not, it doesn't, who says it has to, by the way? It's like, if we always optimized for people's happiness, I mean, I don't need to walk you down that one.
Yeah, and if you always made a decision based on what feels the best, you're never going to have a long-term positive outcome because you're always going to be living for that short-term gain. What's the path of least resistance, which is, again, people-pleasing, you know? So this is a very good point. It wraps into where I was leading the conversation. So you've done it very well. Is what's the cost of living as a people-pleaser? So emotional toll, impact on relationships, work-life implications.
Impact on bank account.
Yeah.
Not saying no to going out with your friends because you're saving towards a house.
Yeah. Going out is the biggest waste of time in my mind.
Well, even if it's just like going out for a coffee.
No, I like that.
I love going out for coffees as well. But if I was in my last month of saving up for a house and I knew if I didn't spend any money this month I could buy the house, I'm not going for a coffee that month. You know, it's like the other framework I'm thinking about at the moment is everything I'm buying right now is like when I'm this amount of money away from buying a house, I'm going to kick myself for buying anything right now. Just because I thought there was like a moth.
You'll have to put one in post so you don't look weird.
I'm just twitching.
Just tweaking like that guy said on the live stream. Like,
yeah.
Your eyes are weird, bro.
Yeah, he did.
Mental. But so there's a very famous author. I think he wrote The Alchemist, if I remember correctly. If you haven't read The Alchemist, I highly recommend. Yes, he did write The Alchemist. It is.
What's his name?
Paulo.
I
cannot pronounce his last name. But anyway, he's got a quote here. So when you say yes to others, make sure you're not saying no to yourself. So I think there's a really good bit of guidance is just because you're saying yes to something doesn't mean you have to necessarily be always saying no, but make sure you're definitely not saying no to yourself. You know, so I've got a question here, and this was put in by Aisha, which is awesome.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Love input. It's great. Like, this is what I want.
Yeah,
eventually.
Absolutely.
We want people to be asking the important questions.
Yeah, and then we're just going to riff on them and see what happens. So what's the difference between people pleasing and peer pressure? For me, I think people pleasing it's an internal struggle. So I internally have chosen to try and please you and be adopted or accepted by you, whereas peer pressure is outward, is external, being if you want to fit in, you need to do X.
Yeah.
That's where I would put it. And I think both can be extremely damaging, especially when you're a young developing human, because peer pressure can make you do things you don't want to, can put you into an environment where you don't feel safe, put you out of your comfort zone unnecessarily. So I think a lot of the outcomes are very similar between people pleasing and peer pressure. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's with peer pressure, you're trying to please the group when I feel like it's just stronger. It's like you're being encouraged to do something by others that you wouldn't do naturally. It's the pressure is coming from the group. When it's people pleasing, the pressure is coming from you to try and impress the people, rather than the group pressuring you to do something you don't want to do. Yeah, that's sort of how I think about it. That might have just been reiterating what you said.
No, but I think we're on the same page. It is the motivation behind it, and where's the push coming in? Is it a push or is it a pull? Are you being pushed by others, or are you trying to pull yourself to do the thing to be accepted by others? So yeah, I definitely think that is where I'd agree. So cost of living as a people pleasing person, a PPP.
Triple P.
A triple P. Emotional toll would be resentment, Which I'd like to add a little asterisk. Resentment for both them and yourself. But I think the resentment for yourself would be stuffed down.
Why would they resent you?
Resentment for them and for yourself.
Oh, right, okay.
So they wouldn't resent you for being a people pleaser. Well, they might.
If they find out.
Yeah, and also if it's, say, someone, like, if they were in a romantic relationship and I've just changed who I am to people please you, you could be like, resent me because you're like, well, I've never had the opportunity to authentically get to know you. So I think there's an element that they could, but maybe not as obvious. But I think the resentment that's going to come internally from yourself is going to be really subdued until which point you come to the realization of, I've been living for someone else in the way that they want. And then I think that resentment's going to hit you like a wave.
Yeah, that's it, right.
And I think a big thing to talk about is a loss of identity.
Yeah, you're trying to mould yourself. Now, I think there's an asterisk on this.
Tell me.
Which is, I think people's identities are built off of copying other people's identities. But I think it's the accumulation of lots of people's identities that makes you you.
Then they say you're an accumulation of the 7 people you spend the most amount of time with.
Yeah, I think so. But it doesn't mean that others don't have input. So, for example, I have elements of Alex Hormozy in my work ethic. I have elements of Craig, my childhood tennis coach, in terms of spirit and happiness and positivity all the time. I have elements of, like, I think confidence in terms of approaching situations from my friendship group. I put that as a whole. Like, all of you guys have always said, like, chest up, like, go into the conversation as if you're there. Like, you know, you're there and you're present. Elements on, like, empathy and whatever from Soph and my family. But there's also teachers in school have little impacts. There's little things they say that impacts your behaviour. There's experiences throughout your life that mould the way that you interact with people and business and everything. So I think if you're trying to go all in on one person's personality, like the first podcast here, I was like all in on Alex Hormozy's personality. That wasn't authentically myself. Now we're doing these podcasts and I've just been myself. It's a combination of, you get the best of everything. You get a bit of Dave Ramsey's thing of, like, I'm not a fan of Dave. You get a bit of Alex Hormozy's work ethic, let's just get on with it. You get a bit of Jordan Peterson's, like, disagreeableness versus agreeableness. You get the confidence, hopefully, that comes through in the conversation, open body language, or if I'm closed, it's because I'm trying to send, like, a closed or humble message to somebody. And you get, like, the empathy, not much from me, but it's from, you know, the lessons I've learned throughout my life from Soph and my family. Like, you just get a bit of everything, and that is what makes me me.
Yeah, agreed.
And it's all, like, parental guidance as a kid as well. That's a huge thing, and all those experiences, as I say. And for you, it'll be the same thing, whether it's conscious or subconscious. It's all your experiences, all the people you've met in your life have led to the person we call Connor today. But you were a different person now. Like, how many people say that? It's like, you're a different person now than you were 10 years ago. Yeah, because you've had different inputs.
Yeah. The experiences you have, the people you meet are constantly changing you. If you allow them to as well. I think there's an element of, you need to allow them to shape you and to change you. Because if you're closed-minded and you're locked in, we're not even locked in, I think that implies a good work ethic. If you're closed-minded, then you're not going to allow other stimulus to widen your perception. But I would agree there's definitely a huge element of, you are an accumulation of everything, every interaction, every conversation, every item of clothing you've worn, every decision you've made is going to accumulate to be the person that sits in front of us today.
Yeah.
So do you think when it comes to people pleasing, there's an element of losing identity, or do you think that's just an element of life in general? Because losing identity almost implies a negative, but in reality, if you're losing the identity of a drug addict that needs copious amounts of alcohol to get through the day, but then become this very successful self-employed florist, you know, you're going to be a completely different person. You're going to have a complete loss of identity. Yes, he was florist.
You did. Yeah, I think it's a stupid question.
Okay.
Because, yes, you are going to lose your identity when you change how you present or your fundamental understanding of the world. Like, yes, you are losing one identity, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's a negative, as you said. I don't think it's a good or a bad thing.
So maybe the reframing is You're losing identity to your most authentic self.
No. I think you're not losing your identity to anything. Who you are is just, you are always you. You can't be anything except authentic you. But you can say things that aren't authentically you, and you can put yourself in situations where you wouldn't authentically want to be. And you're doing that for other reasons. But if you're always you no matter what, have you heard about the thing where you're championing other people's ideas 9 times out of 10? Like most people aren't coming up with original ideas, they're just shouting out other people's ideas. Like me, for example, I quote Alex Hormozy a lot. Not directly, a lot of the time it's paraphrasing, but it's the same through line. And that's because I watch a lot of Alex Hormozy, and now I've actually started to taper away from watching so much of him just because I'm busy actually doing the thing. See, there's another one, a through line directly from Chris Williamson, but we've got loads of mileage out of that because it's fundamentally good.
It's so true, yeah.
So coming up with original good ideas is hard. That is hard work. It's like you need to have enough life experience and enough exposure to other people's ideas to formulate your own. Whereas a lot of people are lazy thinkers by default because you run off. A lot of times as well, it's because you don't fully understand an idea. If you can't develop your own thoughts and ideas, or you can't teach something, then you don't understand it as well.
If you can't explain it to a 10-year-old, you don't know it well enough.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to do now is come up with more of my own original ideas and champion them, but that doesn't mean they're not inspired from previous great ideas. Like there's a other thing, all books, all literature is based on the Bible, which is based on the Bible is a collection of stories that are written at that time, but it's just an ever evolving thing. And then it was like the first book, if you like, was the Bible. So then all books by default were based on that.
I hear you. So there's got to be a central point.
Which means everything is religious. There's a through line to religion in everything. It's another fun little side point that I didn't expect to go down.
Oh, I like that. I'm here for it. So we're going to circle back to the beginning. Don't know what that was. But we're going to circle back.
I think I ordered from there. I really like the food.
What was that, the food or the place you ordered from?
That's the place I ordered from.
Oh, okay.
I then ordered the... It's really nice with a bit of rice.
Lots of throats in there.
The ham and cheese.
It's spicy. What is it? It's a banana.
Get it out of my mouth.
Right, so Will, what was the last thing you said yes to you really didn't want to?
Beneath...
Slam down. I'm out. How dare you? We are over.
No, I'm pleased I said yes to this. I'm really enjoying it. I enjoy it more the longer we do it as well, because it's more evidence that it's actually going to develop into something.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm excited. Like, we'll be at 100 episodes in no time. It's
crazy,
so exciting.
yeah.
I genuinely thought it'd be a long haul to get to episode 21.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was like, that's going to take forever. Like, I know it was all laid out in the schedule, and we were like, yeah, we could do that, but so many people in my life were like, I'm going to create content. Oh, you've inspired me. I'm going to do it. And then just give up after 30 days.
Do you think that was going to be, like, in an open honest comment, do you think it was going to be me that would let it down, or do you think it wouldn't have the legs?
I didn't know that when we first decided to do the podcast, I didn't know how we would actually be together on camera.
Yeah,
so I didn't know if after 5 episodes it would just be like, actually the dynamic just isn't good. And that would be a hard but honest conversation that we'd have to have. And then it might just be that you would have ended up making your own channel and I'd help you out when I could. But the fact that this is like, I'm actually fired up every time you come around to do a podcast.
Yeah,
I'm excited to do it.
Yeah.
That tells me that it's got legs and we're getting better. The conversations are getting more fluid. I think the fact I've acknowledged that, literally that idea, and I think that's probably why I brought it up, because it's something I've been thinking about, is not just championing one guy's ideas. It's like, how many other people's ideas can you get into your perspectives and then share them in your own words? It's like, that is value upon value upon, you're literally, from me, you're getting the teachings of how many hundreds of other people, and it's the same for you. And it doesn't have to be an influencer. It's anyone in your life. And because you've been traveling, the stories you've got and the inspiration you can pull from and the experience you can pull from is like...
That's ironically as well why I want to continue traveling with this podcast. Is like go out and work, obviously edit, plan, everything that comes with the podcast. But do it in Colombia, do it in Uzbekistan, because then there's so many people I can meet them like, oh, Will, like I need to tell you about this conversation I had and we'll riff on it. But yeah, no, I love that. I think our goals are very much aligned on this, and yeah, I'm super grateful for the kick and the inspiration you've given me to do it, because I feel like it's just reignited a spark that I've lost or had lost, which is really cool. But you've not answered the question.
No, of course not.
What's the last thing you said yes to that you really didn't want to? I'll tell you mine while you're thinking.
Yeah, go on.
You know me, I don't like going out, I don't like drinking, I don't like being in bars. That whole environment makes me uncomfortable. I'd rather go to bed early so I can go to the gym early rather than stay out late, I don't even drink, but feel rough because I've slept awfully. So for me, it was work, summer party. There's probably other things I've said yes to that I didn't want to, but this is one that sticks in my mind. Work, summer party. The party was great, but it also kind of flopped. So a lot of the people that I had friends with in the office kind of left quite quickly. So it kind of, by like 10 o'clock, it was kind of a bit dying. And I was like, you know what, now's a great time to head off. Like I'll go back to the Airbnb the company have booked and I'll just get a good night's sleep. And then my boss was like, I really want you to stay around. Like it'd mean a lot. And I was like, okay. I was like, don't do it very often. They put me up in an Airbnb. Okay. And I woke up the next morning after getting into the Airbnb at like 12:31, which for me is
really
late. And then having to get up at like 7 to go to work, be on an early shift at work, and I felt rough. So yeah. But again, I knew I was sacrificing a bit of myself in that moment.
But that's also for more respect in your workplace. It's like you're not seen now as that guy that just leaves.
There's trade-offs,
so
exactly.
That's sort of what I was saying with like being employed. Like you have to be more agreeable, because at the end of the day, you can be fired. That's just what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Or you can be withheld from opportunities, and
Yes.
that's completely in other people's hands. So yeah, no, interesting.
And you?
I think it's just saying yes to pub gigs these days. Like yesterday, I took a call in the middle of the thing. I was like, cool, that's money. But actually, I need to remember now that I need to factor in what it's going to cost me.
Yeah.
It's like, it's strange being offered money. It's good money per hour.
Yeah.
But it's not as good as if I just did
net
YouTube.
negative,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's, so it's how much actually benefit am I going to get from that? Like the audience size at the place that it isn't great. So it's not exposure. It's just fun. But that's not... I think also it's saying yes to that was like acknowledging that I'm not as good at YouTube as I want to be.
Interesting.
Because it's saying, yes, you've had an incredible month on YouTube. However, you don't trust that it's going to last into next year.
Yeah.
It's like I'm hedging constantly.
That's what you've got to do. You've got to be smart, haven't you?
I mean, the other thing is no. Because I'm lucky enough to have enough savings to pay my rent for the year.
True.
So I could, in theory now, I could not earn and be fine. But obviously I'm not going to do that.
That's not sensible.
Yeah. It's just, I don't want to have, I know that I could have 3 bad months in a row. Like, because my channel is built on trends. So if I don't have trends, I can't do anything. So I'm waiting for like a trend to come around now because we've had the K-pop Demon Hunters one. If that goes, like, which it's sort of fizzled out already, I'm stuffed. I've capitalised on it hella well.
Yeah, I've done well.
But I need because you never know what that next trend is going to be. You don't even know if you're going to be able to react to it or do something as a musician with it. It might not even be a thing, a music related thing. So yeah, interesting one. But I think actually that's one of the things that I don't think we really covered in this conversation. But it's saying yes because of lack of self-belief.
Well, we have got a future episode coming up on self-belief, self-worth, all of that.
Self.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll definitely cover that. But, well, we are out of time. I've written down my word. What's yours?
Barracuda.
Nope. Another day I've got it wrong.
What did you write down?
Pineapple.
Oh, it's so close.
I know, so close. It was.
I said a fish, you said a fruit.